You ever sit around waiting for life to hand you permission, waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or someone to tell you it's okay to start grinding? Let me tell you something: life doesn't give a damn about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're scared. It doesn't care if you think you've earned the right. The grind doesn't wait. The grind doesn't pause for your excuses. Every second you sit on your ass, someone else is out there working, bleeding, pushing past the point where it hurts, past the point where they think they can go no further. That's reality. And if you want something in this life, if you want to get stronger, faster, tougher, you have to stop asking for permission. You have to step into the pain, embrace the suck, and keep moving when every part of you wants to quit, because the grind doesn't stop. The grind doesn't wait, and neither should you. You sit there staring at your phone, staring at your computer screen, staring at your life, and you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I need to be ready first. That's the poison that kills more dreams than failure ever will. You think life is going to hand you a manual, a guarantee, a permission slip. It doesn't work like that. The world isn't waiting for you to be ready. The grind doesn't give a damn about your plans, your fears, your hesitations. It's moving whether you step forward or stay stuck. Every second you waste thinking, I need more time. I need more preparation. I need the perfect moment, is a second someone else is out there bleeding, sweating, breaking themselves down and building themselves up at the same time. And here's the hard truth. You don't get the privilege to watch. You don't get the luxury to wait for a sign. You don't get to stand in line for the universe to approve you. You either do or you don't, and every second you nothing, you fall further behind. I've been there. I've sat in that chair looking at my own life and thinking I needed permission, thinking I wasn't ready. But the problem isn't readiness. The problem is fear. Fear disguised as preparation. Fear dressed up as patience. You call it waiting, but it's really hiding. You're hiding from the grind because you're scared of what it will take from you. You're scared of the pain, the exhaustion, the failure, the humiliation. Let me tell you something. Pain isn't something to avoid. It's the compass that tells you you're moving in the right direction. You don't avoid the grind. You step into it and let it carve you. The second you stop waiting and start doing, that's the second life opens up and shows you what waiting is: a trap. Waiting is a lie. Waiting is death in slow motion. You want to be strong. Stop waiting. You want to be successful. Stop waiting. You want to change your life. Stop waiting. The moment you stop asking for permission and stop making excuses, the moment you step into the pain, that's when the world starts to take notice. Not because anyone is watching, but because you start to notice yourself. You start to realize your potential. You start to realize that all those little doubts, all those little fears, all those little, I can't do this yet, moments, they're all illusions designed to keep you small. The grind doesn't care about illusions. The grind doesn't negotiate. The grind doesn't wait. It's moving right now, right this second, and you can either move with it or stay frozen while it passes you by. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Stepping into the grind without permission is brutal. It will challenge you in ways you've never imagined. It will push you to limits you didn't know existed. It will make you question yourself every single day, and it will keep testing you until you either break or you rise. And here's the thing, most people break. Most people fall apart under the pressure. Most people sit around waiting for permission, waiting for someone, him it's okay, waiting for the stars to align. But not you. You're here to fight. You're here to step up. You're here to take the road that everyone else avoids, because you understand one simple truth. The grind doesn't wait. You don't get a hall pass. You don't get a pause button. You don't get a safe space to figure things out. You either go at it now with everything you've got, or you fall behind forever. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards execution. You can have all the talent in the world, all the dreams, all the plans, but if you don't start doing, it means nothing. Doing is what separates the warriors from the spectators. Doing is what separates the men from the boys. Doing is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. And doing isn't polite. Doing doesn't wait for applause. Doing doesn't care if you're scared. Doing doesn't care if your knees shake, if your heart races, if your mind screams at you to stop. Doing is relentless. And if you want to survive, you have to be relentless too. I've lived through days where I wanted to quit before I even started. I've stared at obstacles so big, so painful, so humiliating that my mind screamed for mercy. But the second I said, enough waiting, enough hesitation, I'm starting now, everything changed, not overnight, but something shifted inside me. Something snapped. The chains of fear, the chains of waiting, the chains of self-doubt, they started to crack. And every single day I chose to move, to cracks got wider until I could see the truth. I was stronger than my excuses. I was stronger than my fears. I was stronger than the world trying to tell me I wasn't ready. The grind doesn't wait. I learned to embrace it, beg it. I learned to chase it, not plead for permission. And that's the lesson you need to learn too. You see, waiting is easy. It's safe. It's comfortable. But comfort never built. Comfort never forged champions. Comfort never made anyone who changed the world. Greatness comes from discomfort. Greatness comes from pain. Greatness comes from starting before you're ready, from stepping into chaos, from doing when everyone else is still talking, planning, hesitating, doubting. The grind doesn't negotiate. The grind doesn't care about your excuses. The grind doesn't care if you're ready. The grind only cares if you show up. So get up. Do the work now. Do it every day. And don't stop until you're proud of the scars on your body and the fire in your soul. Every single about permission is a moment the grind is moving without you. Every second you sit on the sidelines, someone else is sweating in the dark. Someone else is pushing through the pain. Someone else is proving to themselves that they don't need a green light, that they don't need validation, that they don't need comfort. And that someone else is going to pass you, beat you, leave you behind if you keep waiting. You think life is fair. It's not. You think the universe is going to hand you what you deserve. It's not. You think you can wait until everything is perfect. It will never be perfect. Nothing ever will be perfect. But the grind is always perfect in one sense. It always rewards those who do, those who push, those who refuse to stop. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the teacher you refuse to listen to, the mirror that shows you who you really are, the fire that burns off weakness and leaves only the real you. Every time you run from pain, every time you take the easy route, you're cheating yourself. You're stealing from your potential. You tell yourself it's too hard, too uncomfortable, too much. But those words are lies you've been telling yourself since the moment you realized discomfort hurts. The real truth, discomfort is the only way to grow. Pain is the only path to strength. And if you're not willing to embrace it, you'll live a life half-lived, never knowing what your body, your mind, your spirit is truly capable of. Most people run from it, hide from it, medicate it, numb it. They chase comfort like it's a god, but the truth is comfort will kill you slowly. Comfort will keep you small, soft, weak, and ordinary. Pain, on the other hand, forces you to look yourself in the mirror and say, I will not quit. I will not break. I will not lose myself. I've been beaten down by pain more times than I can count. I felt my body scream at me, my heart pound like it's going to explode, my mind begging for mercy. But I never stopped. Every time I embraced the pain, every time I leaned into it, that's when the transformation started. Pain is a litmus test. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't negotiate. It only rewards those who show up willingly, who stare it in the face, who take it on like a weapon instead of a curse. When you start embracing the pain, something changes. Your mind becomes sharper. Your focus becomes stronger. Your soul becomes unbreakable. Pain is the forge. You either come out hardened or you come out destroyed. And the choice is yours every single day. Most people avoid pain at all costs. They cry, they complain, they blame. They live in a world of distractions and conveniences, thinking it's enough to survive. But surviving is not greatness. Surviving is a cage. And every time you embrace the pain, you break one bar of that cage. When you run into the discomfort, when you push past the burning in your legs, when your lungs are screaming for air, and your heart is pounding in your chest, that's when growth happens. That's when you discover what resilience really means. That's when you realize the human body and mind are far more than society has ever taught you to believe. Pain is not punishment. Pain is preparation. Pain is proof that you are alive, that you are moving, that you are becoming more than your voice inside your head. I've heard it myself. It says, this is too much. I can't handle it. I need to stop. And here's what you need to do. You ignore it. You take that voice and you smash it with action. You take the discomfort and you hold it close like a friend instead of running from it. Every second you fight through pain, every second you refuse to quit, you're rewriting the rules of your life. You're proving to yourself that nothing, no obstacle, no fatigue, no mental breakdown can stop you unless you allow it. And when you embrace the pain, it stops being an enemy and starts being a weapon, a tool, a ladder to higher than you ever imagined. That ladder doesn't care about excuses. It doesn't care about hesitation. It doesn't care about fear. It only rises for those willing to grasp it with bloody hands. Pain is everywhere, in every challenge, in every setback, in every moment you're pushed past your limits. It's not going away. You can't hide from it. You can't run from it forever. And the moment you stop running, the moment you decide to face it head on, is the moment you start winning. Every marathon you didn't think you could finish, every obstacle you thought would break you, every failure that felt like the end, those are the moments that teach you, that strengthen you, that turn you into someone others look at and say, how did they do that? Pain is the answer. Pain is the guide. Pain is the real test. And most people fail because they refuse to face it. You pass because you embrace it. You chase it, you thrive. And I've seen men and women crumble under pressure because they couldn't handle the pain. I've watched careers, dreams, lives collapse because people were too soft, too scared, too weak to take on the struggle. But I've also seen the opposite. Those who lean into the discomfort, those who go further than anyone possible, those who turn pain into fuel, into fire, into power, they become unstoppable. They become legends. They become warriors. And make no mistake, you have that same potential. Every moment of suffering, every moment of exhaustion, every heart pounding, body shaking, soul testing struggle you face is a gift if you know how to use it. Embrace it. Don't fight it. Don't avoid it. Step into it and let it mold you into someone you didn't know existed. Most people want quick fixes. They want shortcuts. They want life to be easy, simple, painless. But greatness is never easy, simple, or painless. The harder the challenge, the sharper the lesson, the deeper the transformation. Pain is the compass that shows you the path to your true potential. And if you ignore it, if you avoid it, if you pretend it doesn't exist, you will never know what you are capable of. You have to welcome a friend who tells the truth, even if that truth hurts. You have to chase it like an enemy you refuse to lose to, even when every fiber of your body screams for mercy. Pain is the ultimate teacher. Pain is everything you need to become the strongest version of yourself. Excuses are the chains that keep you small. Excuses are the lies you tell yourself to justify why you aren't where you want to be. Excuses are the soft blanket that hides you from reality while the world passes by. You think it's your job, your health, your upbringing, your circumstances, your lack of resources, your bad luck, your pain, your fear that's holding you back. That's all nonsense. That's the voice of weakness trying to convince you it's okay to settle, to stay small, to stay comfortable. There is no excuse strong enough to justify mediocrity. There is no reason valid enough to explain why you haven't started grinding yet, why you haven't stepped into the discomfort, why you haven't taken control of your own life. The moment you recognize that every excuse is a choice, every lie you tell yourself is a barrier, that's the moment you start taking ownership. And ownership is the first step toward true freedom and relentless achievement. I've seen people with everything going for them fail because they refuse to confront themselves. I've seen people with nothing become legends because they refuse to make excuses. Life will always throw pain packs, obstacles, and fear at you. Life will always test you. Life will always ask, are you going to do this or are you going to quit? And here's the kicker. The answer is never going to come from anyone else. No one is going to push you harder than you push yourself. No one is going to care about your excuses. No one is going to give you a gold star for trying. The only person who will hold you accountable, the only person who will demand more from you, the only person who will see your potential and refuse to accept anything less than your absolute best is you. Excuses are the easy way out, the coward's route, the path to being forgotten. If you want to be remembered, if you want to be strong, if you want to be unbreakable, you have to kill your excuses and replace them with effort, with sweat, with relentless grind. Excuses are everywhere. They hide in your mind like shadows waiting for you to falter. I'm too tired. I'm too busy. I'm dumb. I'm not ready. I'll start tomorrow. Those are all excuses, and they're all poison. They keep you stagnant. They keep you small. They keep you from discovering what you're truly capable of. You want to be strong. You want to change your life. You want to dominate your goals. Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending the circumstances matter more than your willpower. Stop thinking the world owes you a chance. The world owes you nothing. You owe yourself everything. Every second you waste making excuses is a second someone else is out there working. Someone else is out there bleeding. Someone else is out there proving that excuses are meaningless, and action is everything. I know the voice in your head. I hear it every day, and I've fought it myself. It whispers, you can't. It's too hard. You're not ready. Wait for the right moment. And here's the truth. There is no right moment. There is no magic window of opportunity. There is only right now. Right now, while your heart is beating, while your lungs are burning, while your mind is screaming for mercy. Right now is your chance to fight, to push, to prove, to dominate, to every single excuse that ever held you back. Excuses are cowardice in disguise. Excuses are the death of dreams. Excuses are the trap that most people fall into without even realizing it. You escape it by doing, you escape it by action. You escape it by grinding so hard that the voice in your head has nothing left to say. Every time you make an excuse, you're giving up power. You're giving away control. You're telling the world you're not capable of more, that you're satisfied with less, that you're willing to settle for mediocrity. And that's the exact opposite of what champions do. Champions face the pain. Champions face the struggle. Champions face the fear. Champions face themselves. Champions do not negotiate with excuses. Champions do not allow excuses to live in minds. Champions execute even when it hurts, even when it's hard, even when the world says no. Execution is the only cure for excuses. Movement is the only antidote to stagnation. Sweat, pain, effort, discipline, focus, and persistence are the only ways to destroy excuses and replace them with results. I've been in the trenches where excuses are everywhere. I've heard them in my own mind. I've seen them in the eyes of others. I've felt them weigh heavy like chains around my neck. But every time I chose to fight, every time I chose to move when my body screamed stop, every time I refused to let my mind run the show, I got stronger. I got tougher. I got closer to what I was capable of. That's the gift of facing your excuses head on. The moment you perfect them, the moment you push past them, the moment you refuse to negotiate, that's the moment you level up. That's the moment the grind starts working for you instead of against you. That's the moment you realize excuses aren't just small lies. They're the reason most people fail, and the reason you're going to succeed if you refuse to give them power. Excuses are comfort. Comfort is weakness. Weakness is failure. If you want to live extraordinary, if you want to be more than average, if you want to be a warrior in a world full of spectators, you have to destroy the comfort. You have to burn the excuses. You have to step in the fire and stay there. You have to embrace the grind, embrace the pain, embrace the struggle, embrace the discomfort, embrace the unknown. That's the only way to silence the excuses forever. That's the only way to wake up every day and feel alive. That's the only way to build a mind, body, and spirit so strong that nothing can stop you. No obstacle can break you. No fear can control you. Excuses are optional. Greatness is mandatory. The choice is yours, and every second you delay is another second. Excuses win. Most people talk about dreams but never chase them. Most people talk about what they want but never act. Most people talk about potential but never execute. And why? Because excuses rule them. They allow excuses to dictate their life, their choices, their results, but not you. You refuse to let excuses win. You refuse to let weakness define you. You refuse to hand your power over to your fears, your doubts, or your circumstances. You take it back. You grab it by the throat. You crush it under the weight of effort. You move forward anyway. You push harder anyway. You fight longer anyway. Excuses are meaningless. Execution is everything. Action is everything. Sweat is everything. Pain is everything. Discipline is every outworking. Everyone isn't just a slogan. It's a lifestyle. It's the mindset that separates the average from the extraordinary, the weak from the warriors, the spectators from the champions. Most people are satisfied with doing just enough, with showing up some of the time, with half-hearted effort, with excuses neatly tucked in their pockets. But if you want to dominate your life, if you want to achieve what others only dream about, you have to be willing to go harder, longer, deeper than anyone else. You have to train your mind to crave the grind, to embrace the discomfort, to push past the fatigue that would make most people quit. Outworking everyone means no shortcuts, no compromises, no negotiations with your own weakness. It means showing up every single day ready to bleed, ready to sweat, ready to fight when everyone else is resting. I've been in situations where my body screamed for mercy, where my mind begged for pause, where every fiber of my being wanted to quit. And the only thing that kept me going was knowing that if I stopped, someone else wouldn't. Someone else would be working harder, grinding longer, outlasting me, and taking what I could have had. That's reality. Life rewards effort, not intention. Life rewards action, not excuses. Life rewards those who are willing to do what others refuse to do, to sacrifice what others won't sacrifice, to endure what others can't endure. Outworking everyone isn't just about physical effort. It's about mental dominance. It's about discipline. It's about building a mindset so relentless that nothing can stand in your way. Most people are comfortable with mediocrity. They get up, do the bare minimum, clock out, go home, and sleep, thinking that's enough. But it's not. That's why they stay average. That's why their dreams die quietly in the night while someone else is up, quietly outworking everyone. Outworking everyone means taking the extra mile seriously. It means waking up before the sun rises when your body screams for rest. It means staying late when your mind wants to stop. It means doing the work no one else can see, no one else cares about, and no one else wants to do. It means embracing loneliness, embracing pain, embracing struggle, because that's where growth is forged, that their strength is built. That's where you separate yourself from the crowd. I've seen men with more talent, more resources, more advantages fail because they refuse to outwork everyone. I've seen men with nothing succeed because they refuse to quit, refuse to compromise, refuse to settle. Talent doesn't matter. Opportunity doesn't matter. Comfort doesn't matter. Execution matters. Discipline matters. Sacrifice matters. And the person who outworks everyone has the edge because they understand one brutal truth. Success is earned every single day, and it is earned by those willing to suffer longer, push harder, fight fiercer, and grind smarter than anyone else around them. Outworking everyone is not about competition with others. It's about competition with yourself. It's about pushing past the limits you thought were unbreakable about challenging your mind when it screams for mercy, about forcing your body to keep moving when every instinct tells you to stop. It's about building a mentality so unshakable that failure isn't an option, that quitting isn't imaginable, that discomfort becomes fuel instead of fear. Every extra step, every extra hour, every extra effort compounds. And while others are sleeping, scrolling, procrastinating, complaining, you're building a fortress around yourself that no obstacle can penetrate, no setback can shake. No, of course, I've lived through days when it felt like nothing could keep going. My body was broken. My mind was shattered. My spirit was tested in ways I never thought possible. But the thought that someone, somewhere was grander than me lit a fire in my chest. That fire turned pain into power, exhaustion into focus, doubt into determination. Outworking everyone is about refusing to let anyone surpass you, refusing to let yourself fall behind, weakness define your life. It's a relentless pursuit, a daily war, a battle fought one rep, one step, 1 hour at a time until you're standing miles ahead of those who settled for comfort, excuses, and mediocrity. Most people want to talk about success, but very few are willing to outwork everyone to get it. They want the results without the blood, without the sweat, without the pain. They want the glory with the grind, and that's why most people fail. But you understand the value of work, the importance of relentless effort, the power of pushing past the limits of body and mind. You know that every hour you grind, every moment you find, every time you refuse to quit, you are building a legacy that can't be taken away, a strength that can't be broken, a life that can't be ignored. Outworking everyone isn't an option. It's a requirement if you want to be more than the average. If you want to dominate, if you want to win, execution doesn't care about talent. Execution doesn't care about excuses. Execution doesn't care about feelings. Execution only cares about effort. And the person who gives more, who pushes further, who endures longer, who refuses to quit, will always rise above the rest. Outworking everyone is a mindset, a commitment, a promise to yourself that no matter what, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how impossible it seems, you will put in more work, more hours, more effort than anyone else alive. That's the only way to stay ahead, to break limits, to redefine what is possible. Comfort is the enemy. Laziness is the enemy. Excuses are the enemy. Sweat, pain, effort, sacrifice, discipline. These are your allies, your weapons, your path to dominance. I've watched the world reward those who outwork the competition. I've watched doors open, opportunities appear. Results manifest for those who refuse to quit when the rest stopped. And I've learned that outworking everyone doesn't just change your results. It changes who you are. It builds resilience, toughness, mental clarity, and unshakable confidence. It transforms you from someone who waits for life into someone who makes life happen, someone who commands respect, someone who refuses to be second, someone who dominates every challenge in their path. Every day you choose to grind, every day you refuse to stop, every day you push beyond exhaustion. You're not just outworking everyone. You're outworking your own limitations, outworking your doubts, outworking the voice that says you can't, outworking the world itself.